Help support Friendo Club by going to patreon.com/Steven Larson or clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson. Access to bonus episodes, question threads for the Going In Raw podcast, and entry to our monthly wrestling predictions challenges. Join the Friendo Club today. Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And it's time for the WWE draft, Larson. And you and I, we love a good draft.
Love drafts.
So, thought it would be fun to milk the WWE Draft 2024 for all the content we can, Larson. So, we've got 3 videos.
Plus a mock draft. We got to do a mock draft, too, don't we?
Plus, we're going to do a mock draft. So, 4, maybe 5, 6, I don't know.
Draft Central. Draft Central here at Friendo Club Wrestling.
Draft Central right here. And so, we're going to kick things.
Sorry to interrupt. We'll be your Todd McShay and Mel Kiper Jr. for the WWE Draft.
I'd kill for that Mel Kiper Jr. hair. So we've got 3 brands. We've got Raw and SmackDown and NXT. NXT is going to be somehow involved this year.
Somehow.
In this video, I have chosen 5 superstars or acts. Not throwing acts. Acts.
Yeah.
That I think should go from Raw to SmackDown. And then we're going to talk about them.
And then another video, I'm going to do the inverse.
You get the
5 talents or acts that should go from SmackDown to Monday Night Raw.
Exactly. And then we're just going to talk about them and debate them and see where we come. See what we get. See what's the reasoning.
Yeah, well, yeah, all that.
Right. And then another video, we're going to figure out what to do with NXT. All right, let's go ahead and dive into it. My number one.
Give it to me.
Is Imperium to
right.
SmackDown, including the ring general, Gunther. Of course, Gunther spent a ton of time on Raw as Intercontinental Champion, had a ton of fantastic matches, became, as much as I loved him pre-Gunther when he was Walter, I grew to love him even more once he realized that the other guy was gone, and he got to be Gunther, smiling, happy monster of an Intercontinental Champion, historically speaking, the greatest Intercontinental Champion.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Of all time, longest reigning, best looking, all that stuff.
Best wrestler, most accomplished, all that.
All that, right? Imperium, no slouch of a tag team. And it's always good if you, especially like, I'll be honest, tag teams, WWE needs to kind of step up their games in terms of like powering up certain tag teams, and the field needs to be a lot more varied with them. But whatever, we're focusing on Gunther. The other guys come along with him, right?
Sure.
So Gunther really made his mark on Raw. However, there are a bunch of other matchups over on SmackDown for him that have yet to be mined. Names like, first and foremost, top of my list, AJ Styles.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love to see AJ Styles versus the Ring General. I mean, that alone could carry several pay-per-views. Another name, Bobby Lashley. And he's got a crew. He's got a tag team with him, the Street Profits.
Yeah.
Them versus Imperium. Plus, you get Bobby Lashley versus Gunther. Couple of big dudes. There was rumors that Brock Lesnar was going to have Gunther. I don't need Brock Lesnar when you have Bobby Lashley. His is superior. So, yeah, Bobby Lashley versus Gunther. So there are a number of feuds over there. And on top of that, oh, go ahead, please.
Well, continue your thought, because that might be what I'm about to say. So,
okay, so I can't without spoiling my last pick. So
I'll
just
abstain. I'll say this then. So maybe it's not what you were going to say. And assuming the undisputed WWE Championship stays on SmackDown, it gives Gunther an opportunity to be the one to beat Cody for that belt.
That's absolutely a possibility if that remains, or in the way that I'm going, where there's a big old switcheroo.
Yeah.
Gunther could challenge for the world title. Either way, Gunther is primed to challenge for a title. I kind of feel like if he's going to win a world title, it ain't going to be the undisputed title. He's not going to beat Cody. That's going to belong to the final boss. So sorry. Gunther is not the final boss. He's the ring general. Maybe one day he'll be the final boss.
Should be the final boss.
When he learns lightning powers. Anyways, next.
Who's next?
Next up. So one thing I noticed is that like WWE, they really do when looking at these lists, WWE needs to do a much better job building their women's division. I think one great way to do that would be introduce mid-card titles for both brands.
Yeah.
Then you get, instead of like just sticking everybody that's not doing anything in the tag division, you let them break out. However, this is a name we've not seen in a very long time. Last we did see her, she was on Raw, but I'm going to go with Carmella going to SmackDown. Along the way, I have enjoyed Carmella was, in my opinion, one of the standouts of when she got called up. I think a lot of people were kind of not expecting a lot, but my goodness, she has had such a terrific career. I always really enjoyed her character. No matter what she did, she really tried to make the most of it. And I think her coming back after having child with Corey Graves,
who's the commentator on SmackDown. So
right, so this would work. So her coming back to the blue brand and having, I mean, there's already fresh matchups because she's been gone for a while now. But again, as I alluded to, I mean, I got Judgment Day going to SmackDown too. So you're looking at like a possible matchup between Carmella and Rhea Ripley. You know what? So much of my shit is like a ripple effect from that. So I'm just going to go with this.
Just bang, bang, bang. Do it.
Judgment Day to SmackDown.
All right.
So you got the world champion and Damian Priest, which means Cody would go back to Raw for Netflix. And then you've got Rhea Ripley going to SmackDown as well. So you got Damian and Rhea going to SmackDown.
Yeah.
And so obviously that would mean Bayley and Cody would go the other way in my scenario. And honestly, like that alone would create fresh matchups because like Bayley's been there on SmackDown. Rhea coming in, you reunite Rhea and Bianca on the same brand to get to their WrestleMania 41 match. You've also got like Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley then on the same brand. You've got potentially Damage Control, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley then on the same brand. And they are much stronger competitors than what she's had on Raw. And I feel like Bayley going over to Raw would make more sense because she's not quite as overpowered as Rhea Ripley. And so maybe people like Shayna Baszler would have more of an opportunity to, to get their hands on the undisputed title against Bayley than she would have against Rhea Ripley. I feel like Bayley's going to lose her title before Rhea loses hers once she gets it back when she comes back from injury.
Yeah.
So yeah, and this is all presupposing Rhea's going to come back and get that damn title back. I understand we're doing this at a weird time when Rhea's lost that title, or she vacated the title, sorry. But this is all presupposing that Rhea's going to have that title back as soon as she gets back.
Yes.
And also Damian Priest having that title then sets up, fresh matches. Bobby Lashley coming after him, AJ Styles coming after him, LA Knight. Instead of the impossible task of going after a Roman Reigns or a Cody Rhodes, now you've got that title on Damian Priest. I don't know. Maybe that can go.
Maybe.
Also, heading to SmackDown, another guy who was just world champion, Seth Rollins. I know it's weird because you can't spell Rollins without Raw.
Yeah,
but you got to separate
Rollins. It was so weird when he was on SmackDown before. Didn't make any. It's like it didn't fit. It's Monday Night Rollins.
You don't need to do that though. You don't have to do that. You could do SmackDown Seth. See, it's alliterative still.
No, it doesn't work the same way.
No, it ain't gonna work. So you put him there again. Look at some of the matchups: AJ Styles, Bobby Lashley, LA Knight. You got Gunther because they never did do really Seth versus Gunther, which they teased. And in my scenario, Gunther would be moving to SmackDown, so you'd finally get that series of matches.
Yeah.
And then he can go back to chasing the title that he had because he's not going to beat Cody Rhodes for the undisputed title.
No way.
So there you go.
Is that your final name, Seth Rollins?
One last name.
Oh, one last name.
Because it's been 4. Heel Gable. You've been a proponent of him joining Imperium.
Yeah.
And maybe instead of being so upset about, I lost to Sami Zayn and the Intercontinental Champion. No. The original sin for Chad Gable was Gunther. So you get to go back into a program with Gunther where Gunther obviously beats Chad Gable again.
Yeah.
He doesn't really get to finish this.
Bad Gable sits under Gunther's learning tree only to lose to him yet again.
How about this? Now listen to this one. Bad Gable shows up on SmackDown. He beats Logan Paul for the U.S. title. Gunther takes it off him.
There we go.
Gunther finishes his story.
Another 700-day reign nearly with the U.S. title.
Right, exactly. And then inspired by the former U.S. champion, he starts his own TikTok, and it ends up with, like, I don't know, 500 subs.
500 subs.
Yeah.
Ring General Gunther on TikTok.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it would be. So yeah, there's my 5
You got
stars.
a lot of champs switching shows. So you kind of have to have like all the champs for one show go to the other show, right?
Not the tag titles and not the mid-card titles. So really it's just...
Oh, the mid-card titles can stay, but the world champs have to go.
The world champs would go. The world, yeah, so that's only 4 people.
All right.
It's Cody, Bailey, Rhea, and Damian all switch brands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now can you please grade my video?
All right. Well, give me the names one at a time. I'll give you a grade for each.
Judgment Day to SmackDown.
Yeah, I'll give that a B.
Oh, that's a good grade right there. I'm happy with that. That's what I got in college. Seth Rollins to SmackDown.
F.
The Ring General Gunther with Imperium to SmackDown.
I want Gunther to be in whatever show Cody's on so we can beat Cody. C minus.
So wow, a C minus. All right, heel Bad Gable to SmackDown.
I'll give that a B.
Hey, Gable versus AJ Styles, Bobby Lashley, and LA
Great
Knight.
matches. Be great matches. LA Knight, yeah.
And then Carmella to SmackDown.
A.
Oh, I love Carmella. She's great.
Carmella's great.
Awesome.
Carmella's
Well,
great.
an A, what I got? An A, a B, a C minus, and an F. I think that all averages out to like an A plus plus.
You got it. No, that's not how it works. You got
105%.
an A, 2 B's, a C minus, and an F.
Oh wow, that F is really killing me.
SmackDown, Seth. How you going to put that on a shirt? That's going to look terrible.
All of his shirts are terrible. That's on brand.
The one that wasn't totally abysmal was the Monday Night Rollins one. I still wouldn't have bought it, but that one wasn't abysmal.
Anyways, drop us your grades in the comments below. Let me know how bad I did. And then do the same over at Larson's video where he's going to tell me who should go from SmackDown to Raw. Meet us over there.
Yeah.